Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Ashley. If you are new here, please hit the like and subscribe button so that you never miss any of my posts. I wanted to give a shout out to one of my followers. He really did some legwork to help me out with my last video. I am gonna kind of show what he did for me later on in the video, so make sure you watch for that. This week I have been praying about what to share, and for me, I always want to share with you guys really what God is putting on my heart to share. I really didn't know, and just coming to the Lord and praying, and I came across this video on TikTok, and it was just talking about how we're so close to what God has for us, but because we're so close that the enemy gathers up his defense and wants to get in front of us and wants to speak lies over our lives. And I just thought how real that is for Christian singles, how we can really feel beat down. And I wanted to share a passage in James chapter 4, starting in verse 7. It says, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and he will come near to you." And then skipping down to verse 10, it says, "Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up." And as I was studying through that passage, the word that really stuck out to me was resist the devil. I have always, known about this passage throughout my life, but God just was really highlighting the word resist. To resist is to exert force and opposition. And I was just thinking about how many singles really have just given up in opposition of the enemy, specifically over praying for a future spouse, because they have been knocked down so many times. They have been let down so many times that the thought of getting up and saying that I'm going to pray over my future spouse is too hard. There's too much pain attached to it. There's too much hopelessness attached to it. There's just too much hurt attached to that prayer. So it's easier just to not think about it or not to put that much effort into it. And I want to challenge you as a single to think about, the enemy does not want kingdom marriages. The enemy does not want singles to believe that there is a godly spouse out there for them. He wants us crippled with the thought that there's just no one out there for us. And when I read through what it means to resist the devil, it means to fight against. And I don't know about you, but I really struggle in this area as I pray, just because I've just not had that in my life. I've not had a godly man who I can lean into, who I can just run with to serve the Lord. And for me, I feel like I've really felt that opposition, and I feel like we've kind of laid down in defeat as singles for that. And my encouragement for you as a Christian single is to pick that hope up again, the hope that the enemy has really tried to destroy. And I think, as we go through our Christian walk and as we walk through being a single, there's things that have knocked us down. Like I said, like hurts, not seeing that someone truly loves the Lord, and people in our lives just telling us, just be content where you're at. And while that is true, I do believe that we need to be content where we're at. But also, what if people just told David versus Goliath, just be content where you're at, you're just a shepherd boy? But God called him to something. And if you believe that God has called you to a kingdom marriage, then you cannot allow the voices of what people have spoken over you, even people that you've dated in the past. For me, I feel like that's been the biggest discouragement in my walk, to believe that I am going to receive a godly spouse, is just people speaking over me that my standards are too high. People speaking over me that I'm never going to find someone who wants to wait for marriage. I'm never going to find someone who wants to read the Bible with me. I'm never going to find someone who wants to serve the Lord with me. These are things that have been spoken over me, over people that I've dated or people that I've talked to. And so it's just like a lie that continually gets fed into your mind, and you're just like, man, I've just been fed this lie for so long. It must be true. So I wanted to share a passage in Romans 12 that kind of addresses this issue. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, perfect, and pleasing and perfect will." And for me, what I want to encourage you with as a believer, God promises to renew your mind. If you have this mindset of defeat, if you have this mindset that there is no godly spouse for you, that is just not true. And I want you to rebuke those lies and actually battle for your future spouse. You have to understand they're being fed these same lies that you are being fed. And there's like a mass unbelief in singles. There's a mass discouragement for them because they feel that they're alone. They feel that there's just no one for them, and their mind needs to be renewed. And so if you're watching this video, I want you to go to the Lord and say, God, I've been believing these lies. I have not been actively resisting the enemy and his attacks over my life in this area, and I want to believe for my future spouse. I want to go to war for this individual, because I know that they're under spiritual attack, and there is a spiritual war. There is things going behind the scenes that may be preventing your future spouse from meeting you. Maybe they're in a sin. Maybe they are just facing discouragement. You don't know what it is, but they need your prayers. They need that belief that that you guys are going to come together at some point in your lives. And I just wonder, what would the church look like if it was full of singles who believed that God was going to show up for them? I think the make of our singles ministry would look so different if they believe like God is going to come through in this area in my life. Instead, I just see broken spirits. I see Christians who are just walking with a defeat in their eyes, and it breaks my heart. And I've also walked in that same defeat. Like, I know what it is to believe that God doesn't have a future spouse for you, and God has just been waking me up. He's been speaking into my heart, into my mind, like, you know that I have this for you. Like, you know that I have a man who is going to cherish you, who's going to lead you, who's going to be a spiritual warrior. And don't doubt that I have this for you. Don't doubt that I'm going before you. Like, pick up your sword and go to battle. I need you to believe this even though you cannot see it. I need you to trust me even though everything around you says don't trust me. And I'm so passionate about this because I know that the enemy wants to speak lies over your heart and over your mind, and that is why you need to resist. It's not just run away. No, it's battle against. You need to go full force and say, God, I need a renewing of my mind. I need you to help me to be strong in this area because I feel so weak. I feel abandoned. I feel hurt. I feel discouraged. And God will meet you there. I promise you, he will meet you there. Even in your weakest, most vulnerable state, God will meet you there. And I just pray for every single watching this video, if your heart's desire is for a godly spouse, that is biblical. That is okay to have that desire, and not to be sinking down in defeat just thinking that God doesn't have that for you. If that is your heart's desire, that is a biblical heart's desire. So don't shrink back and just feel like God doesn't have that for you. He does. He just wants you to trust and believe and to pray bold prayers and actively resist the enemy. In the actively resisting the enemy, we can begin to hold fast that God is working and that He's going before us. And my encouragement after you watch this video is just go before the Lord in prayer. Ask Him to renew your mind. Ask Him to help you to battle, to pray, to believe. And who knows, tomorrow could be the day that you meet your future spouse, and you'll be really happy that you believed that he or she was coming. So I'm just thankful that you watched this video, and I pray that your day is blessed. Bye. Hi, this is Editing Ash. I realized that I did not give my shout out for the last video. One of my followers, Alex, had reached out to me with the video that I was wanting to watch, and he actually found the exact time even in the live stream, which I thought was so awesome. And he messaged me through Facebook, but I don't have Facebook. So I wasn't able to message him back, nor was I able to find the message. I'm really happy that I screenshotted what he sent me though, and I'm gonna pop it up here on the screen so you can see it as well. And hopefully if you have Facebook, you can go and watch this live stream. And I just wanted to thank Alex for taking the time to find that for me, and I hope it blesses someone like it blessed me. So thank you so much, Alex, for taking the time to look that up for me and for sending me the information, and I hope that everyone gets a chance to watch that.